Alright guys, we're back. Unfortunately, we had a bit of an issue here with well, the Empire attacking the Resistance again. You did well, Miro. You saved lives. No matter what happens, remember that. Now then, let's do what we can for the wounded. Every minute counts. The fires fade. Be to the wounded, Miro. If they live, help them. If not, move on. Aid the wounded. Hi, Bob. Let's go. No, Mefred! Our early questing buddy in the zone. Mefred lies motionless, having breathed his last. Clenched in his fist is a small charm, which you take for safekeeping. He was already cold when I got to him. There was naught I could do. That charm must have been important. You'd best take it to Conrad. Alright, come on, Carbuncle. We've tracks to make. So saying in chat there, while I was on break, that the music in this zone is actually super good shift. Like it's the same theme that they use when the place is normal, but it's like got a tone shift to it. They did a really good job with that. Monongo, Mefred, where are you? Mefred's charm, a small wooden charm. Mefred's clenched in his fist as he breathed his last. This is... He's dead, isn't he? Mefred was a warrior, always thinking about others before himself. He once had an Imperial patrol chase him nigh on 20 moms so that his wounded would have time to escape. His comrades loved him for it, of course, though that only made him worry more. Did you know that he sent his men in Quarry Mill away because he thought they were fighting for him and not the cause? Aye, well he did. The only life he was willing to risk was his own, you see. But that's exactly the kind of man who should be leader. The kind of man who deserves to survive. Not an old fool who's all used up. There's no logic to it, Master Kemp. There never is. He who stands, who falls. In the heat of battle, we can do but our best. As he did. Mefred will be sorely missed, aye. But not because of his sacrifice. Many now live who otherwise would not. And they need us, now more than ever. Aye, that they do. Forgive me. I had high hopes for him is all. Alright, Pippin, what do you got for us? Bereft of hearth and home. Our defeat was no near thing. It was total, a humiliation. We were powerless to withstand our enemy's assault. But we cannot afford to dwell on our failure. As Alphino said, it is those who survived whom we must think of now. Frogger's Reach is no longer safe. The Imperials have withdrawn, but they could be here at any time to finish what they began. We dare not remain here. Those who are not fit to make the journey to Castromorians will need to be taken by chocobo carriage. Agreed? Good. I shall oversee the preparations for the carriages. In the meantime, I would have you scour the infirmary for any supplies that might prove useful for the journey. Alright. Forgive me, but it is imperative that I continue preparing medicines for the wounded. If you desire treatment, I must ask that you seek it elsewhere. Oh, I see. In that case, you are free to search the barber and take that which you require. I would not have our people dying en route. I would assist you, but this process demands my undivided attention. I like her fucking colored vials there. Alright, let's grab some medical supplies. Some Mira supplies. Who's down there playing with her toy, which is a wooden fork. Cats, I tell you. Okay. Got him. Oh look, there's the carriage. Oh, they got that created fast. This Miss, Marshal Talbot said you might have something for me? An assortment of potions and potables that may prove invaluable in keeping the wounded alive on the journey back to Casimir. Hey, Mira. Will be praised. This should be put the driver's heart at ease. Tell the Vice Marshal we wait his orders. Istola and the others are safely strapped in. Don't worry. I'll be by her side the entire time. Thank you, Kryl. I'll walk alongside. They'll need protection in case the Garleans try anything. Hang on, you're injured too, aren't you? Shouldn't you be in one of the carriages? I'm not so frail that I can't make the trip on my own. Besides, there's still work to be done here. I'll see you at the wall when it's finished. As you wish, then let us set forth at once. We will move as quickly as our comrades' health allows. The Castamorians. Divide and conquer. You saved a good many of my men, and I cannot thank you enough for that. But the fact remains, our forces were decimated, and this state will not be mounting an assault on Castellum Velladino or anywhere else. We need to be honest with ourselves about our prospects, but first, we need to put our affairs here in order. Afterwards, I'll join you all at Castamorians. Understood. We will go and speak with General Alden. So, they haven't shown off the true might of the Empire so much up to this point. We've only heard tell of it, and they've always been there. Just dealing with the nations that they've conquered and whatnot. Pippin has already departed with the wounded, has he? Good. We have completed our search of the Reach and the surrounding area. As far as we can tell, Zenos and his men returned straightaways to Specula Imperatoris after quitting this place, so it seems he's lost interest in us. Which brings us to the most troubling question of all. Not how he found us, but why he chose to spare our lives having done so. In war, you kill or capture your enemy, you don't leave him to fight another day. Only a fool would turn his back and walk away. But Zenos is no fool. Whatever his motive, this is neither the time nor the place to think on it. I will leave a token force to watch over the Reach. The rest will fall back to Castamorians. We can discuss our path forward there. Well, think about this, okay? He could have killed the Warrior of Light. But he probably thinks that in beating the Warrior of Light, he's broken everyone around them, including the Warrior of Light. But little does he know, we have famous streamer Vector watching us, so that's gonna push us forward. Kryl is with Istola. She still hasn't woken up, but Kryl says she's through the worst. Given the severity of her wound, we could have hope for no more. Let us pray she makes a full recovery. We lost a lot of good people, didn't we? I saw it happen when the Skull's commander cut down Mefred. A single blow and that was it. Everything he thought for, all his hopes and dreams for the future, gone in an instant. And do you want to know what the worst part? It wasn't a Garlean who did it. It was an Alamegan. God's help me if I ever... No, not now. Not while the general's waiting. Oh, Lise.
Were it not for the swift actions of the Scions and the Alliance, many more would have died. You risked your lives to save ours, and for that we thank you.
There is no need for thanks. We are allies, are we not?
Aye, just so. Let us not dwell on this tragedy, but look to the future.
The future? I'm sorry, General, but there is no future for us. We've lost too many. Gods, I can still see Mefrid with that woman standing over him. They've ripped the heart out of his general. They've broken us. Our fight is over.
Master Kemp, please.
I'll always hate them with every fiber of my being. For what they took from us then and now. Our homeland, our freedom, our bloody children.
You mean the Skulls? The youths who fight for Zenos?
Grania Lupi, the Black Wolf's legacy and our shame. A unit made up of children born to Alamegan dignitaries who came of age during the occupation. Sons and daughters of Gir Abania, raised to be proud citizens of the Empire, with all the rights and responsibilities that entails. It'd be easy to curse them and call them traitors, but they're our children. Our flesh and blood. If the only way to forge the future we want is to cut down our own, then...
Then what was it all for?
Nargo?
What will you say to the families of the fallen? To the mothers, and the widows, and the orphans? Will you tell them it was all for nothing?
Listen to the girl. We dare not suffer our comrades' sacrifices to have been in vain. Now is the time to steel our resolve and press on, painful though it may be.
And when Zenos comes back with his army, what then? This isn't the first time, you know. You'll be hard-pressed to find men brave or stupid enough to face him again.
I still can't believe how strong he was. He humiliated us back there. The Warrior of Light included. God help us if he's next in line to the Garlean throne.
Loath though I am to say it, we should not be surprised. Before succeeding Van Baelsar in Alamigo, Zenos led the Imperial army to Doma, where he crushed the rebellion utterly. As a matter of fact, Doma remains in his charge to this day. Suffice it to say, Varus's heir is a peerless warrior and an accomplished general. The question is, how are we to contend with such a foe?
We fight and we fight and we keep on fighting until we win. We take the fight to Doma.
Interesting. You are suggesting we kindle the flames of revolution in Doma once more and force Zenos to fight a war on two fronts?
For that, there would need to be someone left to fight on this front by the time you got back. Look, I'll not deny the plan as promised, and I feel for our brothers and sisters in Doma, truly I do. But I fear we lack the strength to see it through.
Have faith in your people, Master Kemp. Them and the Scions. Hold fast, rebuild, and when all is in place, we shall defeat Zenos together.
If you're going to Doma, I'm coming too. I want to help our friends there, and make sure nothing like this ever happens again.
Give us the time we need, and we will give you something far greater.
Very well. For all you have done for us, we will fight on. But be swift, comrades. Alamigo has suffered enough.
Right. It goes without saying, but the Scions alone have not the strength to topple a provincial government, here or anywhere else. And I'm quite certain the same can be said of the Doman Liberation Front. Nevertheless, we can go and assess the situation ourselves, and see what can be done. Lest you doubt that what good we few can accomplish, I would remind you that my grandfather and his 12 disciples once journeyed to these lands to save yours and your people from certain doom. Brave souls with an important task, and the Eorzea lives on. Our present mission may not be as monumental in scope, but it will no less be important to the multitudes whom would be free from imperial oppression, whom we will free. Lies, damn lies, and pirates. Where men go as one, there is life, and where there is life, there is cause to hope. Our grandfather believed that, and so do I. And before we can forge ties with our friends in the Far East, we must first find a way to reach them. All that is not exactly over the river and through the woods. I'm one step ahead of you, dear sister, or rather, Tataru is. But before we can discuss that, there's another issue I wish to address. Much as I would like it if we could all make this journey together, someone will need to remain to serve as a liaison to the Alliance and the Resistance during this critical period. Moreover, as Histola cannot be left unattended, then I should obviously remain. Very well, issue addressed. You know, Alphino, it would have been quicker to just ask, and markedly less patronizing. Yes, I suppose. Would you be willing to look after Histola and provide support to Arnvold and the others? Yes, Alphino, I would. You see, that wasn't so hard, was it? Enjoy your trip and don't you dare return without a gift. Oh, I wouldn't dream of it. Right, then sister, Miro, Lise, gather your things. We are for Limsa Laminsa. The Scions, as they get more and more used to Alphino, are more and more used to busting his shop. That's great. Alright, let's go to Limsa Laminsa. Alright, where are we going? Upper decks. We're gonna go talk to Baderon? We haven't talked to him in a long time. I like that character's outfit. We're not going to talk to Baderon. Interesting. We're gonna go talk to Alphino. Tataru should be here any moment with our ship's captain. So we're going by sea after all. Melvin letting us pick up her Crimson Fleet? Not exactly. You are right, in as much as we'll be traveling by sea. Regrettably, it is simply not feasible for an airship to travel such a distance without impossibly large fuel reserves, to say nothing of the inevitability of running foul of the Empire's aerial defenses. Then it is equally infeasible to sail in a Eorzean vessel halfway around the world without the Empire taking notice, which leaves us with only one other option. Ah, speak of the devil. Sorry to keep you waiting. May I present you Captain Carvalin of the Kraken's Arms? The Kraken's Arms? Don't tell me you made a deal with pirates. Greetings and salutations, Scions. I take it from your comrade's tone that you no longer wish to proceed with our proposed arrangement? Not at all, Captain. Pray, forgive my sister her outburst. She's ever been one to speak her mind. I, on the other hand, am of the very soul of discretion, as many well-respected personages would attest, from the officers of the Admiral to the High Husbands of Ishgard. Ah, but where was I? Oh yes, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn do indeed still wish to employ your services. However, it is important that you are aware of the certain extenuating circumstances. And intent on securing passage to the Far East, you came to us, knowing us to be the proud purveyors of said region's finest spices, which you steal from God-fearing merchants out on the high seas. Whatever privateering the Kraken's Arm may or may not engage in is strictly within the limits of the law, as set forth by our indefatigable keeper of the peace. More to the point, we are pragmatists, and I see considerable risk in aiding your cause and negligible profit. Well, I, for one, think the captain has a point. The five seas can be extremely treacherous, and many poor, unfortunate souls come to grief out on the waves. Why, when we were in Ishgard, I heard a tragic tale of how the heir to Asdurndir vanished at sea. Even now, nearly 20 years later, the poor count remains convinced that his son still lives and would pay a sultan's ransom for news of his whereabouts. Truly a tragedy for the ages, and a testament of the misfortunes that may befall us should we act without due consideration. But so long as you are prepared to abide by the capricious whims of fate, I am willing to oblige you this once. That said, in light of the recent rebellion, I trust you understand that I cannot deliver you to Doma itself. I can only take you as far as Kugane and Hingashi. We will require time to procure sufficient provisions and make ready for the departure. I humbly suggest you do the same. So apparently, he doesn't want to know House Durandare to know that a certain dignitary is alive. Suddenly, all those hours Tatari spent cavorting and capering in the Forgotten Nights seem rather well spent, do they not? That said, I had intended to press the point more obliquely, and there was something disconcerting about the pleasure Tatari took in making Captain Kavarlan squirm. Hey, parents. Tales from the Far East. I said we head to the captain's advice and attend to our own preparations while they ready the vessel for departure. The Tatari and I will proceed to the necessary supplies. Alice, I should be grateful if you would use the time to brief Urianja on the recent developments. You may also wish to review the relevant safety procedures in the event of an emergency at sea. Ah, how very prudent of you. Very well, I shall go and speak with them. What of Miro and Lise? I would like the two of you to return to Revenant Soul and speak with our Doman allies. I fear we know too little of their homeland, and any information they can provide would be most welcome. When we have completed our respective tasks, we will reconvene here at the ferry docks. Agreed? Sounds like a plan. Let's go, Miro. I would have you leave and go all the way to Revenant's Soul, which is not an insignificant trip, by the way. Good thing we can teleport. Well, here we are. We'll need to talk to lots of people, so I think we should split up. I'll ask around the House of Splendors. You take the Rising Stones. I'll meet you here after. Okay, got it? Got it. Of course you're gonna make me go into the Rising Stones. You sack of shit. Okay. Let's talk to Home. You are planning to travel to Doma? I don't know what to say. Forgive me. I shall aid you to the best of my ability. Ours is a beautiful land, nestled on the eastern coast of Authard. Along the banks of the One River, our nation thrived, proud and free, until the Garleans came 25 years ago. The river was our lifeblood, free to travel and to fish. But travel was soon restricted, and now the river belongs to none. The man really likes the One River. Hey, Gary, what are you doing here? Greetings, Miro. What brings you to the toll this day? What? You are for Doma? Heavens! You scions have shown us naught but kindness, but never in my wildest dreams did I imagine you would fight for our homeland. For 25 years we suffered under their tyranny, and when we spied an opportunity, the Emperor dead, Garlemald in chaos. It seemed time was ripe, but our lord's banners were gathered, and we fought to reclaim our nation, but Zenos arrived with the 12th Legion. It was over in an instant. What is it, my friend? You look as though you have something to ask. That you go to join Yugiri and Gosetsu in the fight fills me with such joy. Ah, forgive me my exuberance. You require information, yes? We of the Nagai clan have served Doma faithfully for generations. My ancestors held positions within Doma Castle. Even now, it is time for the Imperial Viceroy's witch and the host of her men in Magitech. To think that was once the shining symbol of our heritage and the seat of dear Lord Kyan. What has become a den for Garlean dogs? Alright. Hi, Mira. What are you blaring about? Ah, there you are. Learn anything interesting? The older Domans I spoke with tried to teach me all about the Far Eastern customs and the importance of formality and politeness. I like to think Yozi can be just as stiff as stuffy as anyone, especially his guardians. But anyway, did you know they eat with sticks? It wasn't all that hard, actually, or at least that's what I thought until they told me I was holding them wrong. And then when I spoke with the younger Domans, they just rolled their eyes and told me it was all a load of stupid old... Wow, what you learned of sounds a lot more useful. Unless someone invites us for dinner, of course. I hope they do. Not without incident. Right, no point in waiting around here, is there? We should head back to Limsa Lominsa. Alphino said to meet the ferry docks, I think. It's not without incident, you guys. Alright, so I decided we're going to go on a little longer than usual, just because there's something I want to do before we're done stream today. So, we're going to go to the Fisherman's Guild. Wait, that's not where he wanted to go. He said the ferry's docks. So I'm used to the other ferry. This is the docks we want to go to. You have returned, Miro. I trust you learned much from our Doman friends in Revenant's Toll. I'm eager to hear all, though we can wait until we have left port. We'll have time enough to talk on our journey to Kagane. Our spice trading friends have completed their preparations. Assuming you have completed yours, you may inform the deckhand that we are ready to depart. Alright guys, we're heading over to Kagane. All set, lass? I'll see you to the ship if so. Board the misery. That was abrupt.
"12 be praised. Full sure was I that I had come too late."
Urianger! Tell me you haven't come all this way just to see us off.
Nay, my lady. Ere you quit these shores for eastern climes, I wished to share some words of seeming import. Look ye where the sun doth rise. See crimson embers, darkening skies. Look ye where the sun doth fall. See azure lost amidst the squall.
Well, that sounds suitably foreboding. Another one of your prophecies, I presume?
Of far eastern origin, aye. It is mine earnest hope that this ancient wisdom may serve to guide you on your journey. For what dangers lie in wait for you upon those distant shores are yet beyond my knowing.
A parting gift befitting your roundabout ways. Thank you.
I have more than words for you, my lady.
It's beautiful. Is it for me?
Though undeniably powerful, your ethereal blade taxeth you greatly in the wielding. Not so this rapier, which shall serve you just as well against all but the most formidable foe.
Impressive. It feels as though it's attuned to my ether. I shall treasure it.
Honored guests, say your farewells, for the moment of our parting draws nigh. A fair wind blows, and I mean to follow it.
It would seem our ship is set to sail. Pray give my regards to Thancred and the others. And take care.
A fine day, is it not? Fair winds and following seas. The Misery is enjoying herself. Nevertheless, it would not do for you to spend the entirety of our voyage above deck. Let me show you to your quarters.
Is it supposed to do that?
Not under normal circumstances.
Captain! You're needed on deck! Something queer's afoot. The winds died down, the waters went still, and all of a sudden, we were dragged off course.
Dragged? By what?
Can't rightly say, sir. But some of the lads are muttering about seeing things in the water. Things that shouldn't be there.
Oh, for the love of... If you will excuse me a moment. Actually, might I persuade you to join me? Loath though I am to admit it, I have a bad feeling about this.
All right, ladies and gents, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to have a shorter video here as there's something we're going to do before the end of stream. Don't go anywhere.